What up, all my Mingas, and welcome to the Minga Sports Podcast. I'm Nacho.
I'm Garuta. I meant 9 as in like 9 o'clock, not 9 minutes.
Oh,
Go off. Let's start it.
all right. I thought that's what you meant.
No, no, it's fine though.
For those wondering, it is 8:57, and we live stream this at twitch.tv/Nacho Live. The O is a 0, and it was about to reach 9 minutes of like uptime, and I thought that's what he meant by starting at
No,
9.
I meant 9 as in like 3 minutes. And then I just hear you start the episode, and I'm like, oh, I didn't even realize the timer. But
You like
you're
that
gonna
little?
start.
You like that little promo there?
Yeah, I did. I like how like uh how you just said so casually the O is a 0.
I've said that multiple times, if you'd
Have
believe.
you?
Yes.
I don't pay attention when you talk. All right. So, anyways,
Well, I
uh,
just mean in the past, but yes.
NFL headlines. Um, a lot of the stuff that I'm looking at on our sheet right now is from like Wednesday last week. It is Tuesday night. So I
September
wrote this
7th.
down. I wrote this down on Wednesday, September 1st. And now it's like I have to remember why I wrote it down and what actually happened. So the first thing we got is New Orleans after it got hit by a hurricane and basically washed away again is to play their week 1 game against the Packers in Jacksonville. We thought it was going to be Dallas, but it's Jacksonville. Nacho, what do you think about this choice?
Um, that's just strange. Like, why not go to somewhere closer? But pop off, do what you want. Is it nice in Jacksonville? How's the stadium?
Um, so the Jags have been a franchise since like '96
TIAA
or
Bank Field.
'99,
Gonna be honest, I didn't know that
'96 or
previously.
'99, and on. They're still on their first stadium. So the stadium's at least 20 something years.
You know,
But
I like the look of it. I think it
it's
looks
like a
nice.
decent. I'm pretty sure it's natural grass. Because whenever
Oh,
I like watch
bad.
whenever I watch Jacksonville games, it always just seems so dirty. Because
I
it's like dry question mark.
see. I don't know. I could only imagine how it is for linemen. But playing football, fuck you for not spending the money on a turf field. Grass fields are so garbage and they're terrible and I hate it. They're awful to play on. We lost. We were gonna go in the postseason, but we lost a game because fucking we played a game where the ground froze and then like just started getting muddy because it rained.
Oh.
Yeah, awful game. There were so many good plays where like turf field ain't gonna happen. Like we make those catches.
Yeah. All right. That's fair.
I hate playing on dirt. It gets all up in your cleats. You have to clean them off. Turf is just so nice. I get it's expensive. It's very like turf is wicked expensive, and you know get funding. Get do a fundraiser. I don't know. Grass fields are so fucking garbage. Pardon the language.
As if we haven't sworn on this show before.
Yeah, I know.
Um. So do you think that the fact that they're in Jacksonville does that affect sort of like how the Saints are gonna play? Because they are playing the Packers, and usually when you're in the Superdome against a good team, the fans can help out a little bit. But will it? You think they're gonna show up in Jacksonville?
Hell yeah. They'll be like, oh, we get to watch a good football game at home? Whoa.
Yes, it's the first time Jacksonville will see a good team play at their stadium, or two good teams play at their stadium since
Hey, we
what,
got Trevor Lawrence.
2017? Is
Yeah.
that when they went to the AFC Championship
Um,
under Blake Bortles?
Oh God, Blake
Hey,
Bortles.
I've seen Blake Bortles play in college. Little known fact: he went to UCF, and UCF played UConn, and I went to a game where we beat UCF, miraculous. And Blake Bortles was the quarterback, and so yeah, I've seen Blake Bortles lose in person.
It was 17. By the way.
Yeah, yeah, because that was the year it was Pats Eagles in the Super Bowl. So, staying on the Jacksonville top, Urban Meyer has explicitly stated that the vaccination status affected who would make and not make the 53-man roster. It was a factor. What do you think about this one? This one's
Fuck you, Urban Meyer.
Fuck you.
Like
Urban
what a prick. Who like say Trevor Lawrence didn't get vaccinated. What are you gonna cut him? No. Don't cut good players just because they're not vaccinated. You moron.
He said no one got cut or explicitly only because they weren't vaccinated.
Yeah, I bet.
Oh, this play, yeah, you got two bubble players, and it's like they're both equal. He took the vaccinated one over the non-vaccinated.
Yeah, no, that's kind of not okay.
So,
it shouldn't have any weight at all.
Yeah, it's a personal choice, and as much as you should all go get vaccinated right now,
yeah,
you really should. It does help, but it is still a personal choice. And in America, you gotta accept you have personal freedoms, and you have to live with that. So fuck you, Urban Meyer.
Yeah, you also cut Tim Tebow, so fuck you.
Yeah, but no. But everyone saw the video of him attempting a block, and it wasn't gonna.
Yeah, fuck you, Urban Meyer. Give him another game. I bet he would have fucking one more game. He would have pancaked a guy. And now we'll never know because you're a prick.
All right, this isn't on the list right now, but
Fuck
I'm going to
Duval.
talk about why are two people attempting to trade in my fantasy football league. I have two trade offers for Corey Davis right now.
Oh.
What
are the options?
All right, I have two trade proposals right now.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the I don't like either of. I don't think I like either of them. So one of them is Corey Davis for Juju, straight up.
No.
Which I'm not taking out of principle.
No, I wouldn't do that.
I don't want TikTok stars on my fantasy football team.
No grown man should have TikTok downloaded on his phone.
This next trade, I've been looking at this for 7 hours now, just trying to figure out I don't know. I'm on the fence because it's so weird, but it might be good. Someone is trying to trade me George Kittle, Jerry Jeudy, and Rams third string running back Jake Funk.
All for Corey Davis?
For Corey Davis and Travis Kelsey. And I was immediately like, no, I'm not trading Kelsey. But I don't know. Because I'm getting Kittle back.
Who else is it? What other receiver you get?
Jerry Jeudy. I say Jerry Jeudy. I'm taking Jake Funk out of the equation just because he is a non-factor. He's not gonna affect this either way. But Jerry Jeudy for Corey Davis is sort of a toss-up.
Yeah.
I think Jerry Jeudy's good. I think he'll have about the same production as Corey Davis this year. Corey Davis is the one, and I think Jerry Jeudy's two in Denver because you got Cortland Sutton. And then Kelsey for Kittle.
I'd say don't do it.
I lose that one. Yeah.
Just because your receiver is going to do just about the same, you're not going to use the running back, and
Yeah, and
the
Kelsey.
tight end trade is not worth it. Like
Kelsey's gonna
George
get.
Kittle's a great tight end.
Mhm.
Travis Kelsey, you know.
My fantasy starters are kind of stacked, by the way.
Yeah, I know. I saw them.
Uh, yeah, I'm saying this for the podcast.
I know.
Josh Allen, Alvin Kamara, Saquon Barkley, who I got in the third round. Robert Woods, Julio Jones, Travis Kelsey. I have Corey Davis starting in my flex. I have the 49ers defense, and I have Harrison Butker for my kicker. And on the bench, I got T. Higgins, Cole Beasley, because fuck you, Pat. James Conner, Jonnu Smith, Sony Michel, and because fuck it, we ball, Danny Dimes.
Hell yeah.
Danny Dimes was the second to last pick in the draft.
See, for me, I would take Mac Jones late, just so I can have him.
Yeah, like
Because if you're not a Pats fan, you're not gonna want him in a fantasy draft.
Dan Jones is going to play one game for my fantasy lineup this season, and that is Week 7 when Josh Allen has a bye. That is it. That's the only time he's going to see the light of day.
Man, if I was in a fantasy league, put Mac Jones in against Tom Brady.
I'm sure if we find a fourth, TJ would be in on a fantasy football league.
And then we could bully TJ with good picks.
And then we could bully TJ.
And then he wouldn't be able to connect.
TJ's just going to draft the Dolphins, and that's it.
I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with that too. So the next topic, we're gonna finally get to this after 3 weeks of having it on the dock, and not talking about it.
Well, because it wasn't finished the first time.
Yeah, the first time it wasn't finished, and then last week there was a lot of shit to talk about, and we still got like an hour and a half long episode, I think.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna talk about the NFL Top 100, which
Hell yeah.
released a little while ago. Oh, last week's episode was 2 hours 15 minutes. So yeah, that's why we didn't talk about it.
And I felt like we talked kind of fast.
Yeah, there was a lot to happen because of cut week. So we went through the NFL 100 list. We definitely didn't do it 15 minutes ago. That much I can tell you.
We are prepared podcast.
We are prepared. We didn't do this when we got in the call.
That's why we have good graphics.
Our graphics also weren't done 20 minutes before the first episode. That's also a thing.
Our production team is fucking amazing at this shit.
We pay them the big bucks for a reason. So on the NFL 100 list, we're gonna go through 3 players each who we think are underrated, overrated, and who we think are placed perfectly. And then at the end, we'll see if we have any. Well, let's start out with. Do you think there were any snubs on the list?
Nah, I didn't really have anybody in mind that I didn't see.
Okay.
Maybe if I browse through it, or if I give it more thought, but I didn't really see anybody where I was like, where the fuck are they?
There was one name who I saw that I was shocked.
Who?
And that was Blake Martinez.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that just because I'm a Giants fan. I'm saying that because he's honestly probably a top 3 or 4 linebacker in the NFC. Or inside linebacker. I'll specify that part. Because you got Bobby Wagner and Fred Warner in the West. And then who's it? Devin White on the Bucks. And then I think Blake Martinez you put into that 4th spot as one of the best inside linebackers in the NFC right now. And he did not make this list. He's been a seasoned tackles leader in the past with Green Bay. Came to New York, and he put on a really, really good performance. James Bradbury made it for the Giants and Leonard Williams, but Blake Martinez did not. and that makes me sad.
How good was his year last year?
Pretty good.
Oh, okay. There is some
I don't know
people
the stats. Let me pull up the stats real quick.
where I saw on the list where it was like because they had a bad season, they were put low, which I thought was kind of shitty.
It is shitty, but that's what happens. Blake Martinez,
Because
2020.
then you're making the argument, is it the top 20 or top 100 players from the past season and how they performed, or top 100 players in the NFL?
Yeah, it's gonna be how they perform, judging by some of them on this list.
Yeah, but
Blake
I
Martinez
think
finished
you should
last
take
year.
sorry, but I think you should take a little bit of like their past into thought.
Yeah, Blake Martinez after he was drafted in 2016, so he's been in the league for 5 seasons. Yeah, last year was his 5th season, and he has 660 career tackles in 5 seasons.
That's pretty good.
He had 151 tackles last year, 3 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, and an interception, and 5 passes defended, which for an inside linebacker are fairly good numbers.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So solo tackles, he had 86, which was tied for 7th in the league. I'm just putting that out there. Out of any position, he was tied for 7th in solo tackle. So, Blake Martinez is my snub. I was gonna put Saquon, and then I realized Saquon's been hurt for the past 2 years. It's fair to not put him on this list. But those were snubs for me.
Mm-hmm. All right. Underrated players. Do you want to go one for one?
Yeah, let's go one for one. Who do you got?
My first underrated player, I think AJ Brown at 62. Like, AJ Brown is a great receiver, and he is going to be deadly in Tennessee this next season, especially because of everything they have.
Yeah.
62 is pretty low.
I feel like
I could go through the list and say like how like if as a receiver, I think AJ Brown is better than a couple people that their specific position.
there's I think this year he could sneak into top 5 receiver easily because he does have Tannehill and Derrick Henry, so they will always be a run first option, like run first offense. But AJ Brown can Tannehill's been throwing great passes. AJ Brown's been able to get open, and when he takes over, this is his role as a number 1 receiver. Julio's been decided as the number 2 already. I think AJ Brown could.
Yeah.
Are you going from are you doing it in any order? Or are you doing your highest first or lowest first?
No specific order.
All right.
But that was the lowest.
I'm gonna start with one of mine. This one might be a little. This one's a little high to be under, but I'm still putting it because it is. It's right. Joey Bosa at 32. Joey Bosa is much better than 32 on this list, in my opinion. There's a lot of guys who I would put who are on this higher than him on this list that I would put way low, just because of how explosive he is and how much production he can do on the defensive line. So Joey Bosa at 32 is my first underrated.
Honorable mention right now. I just read that Ryan Tannehill is number 83. What the fuck?
Oh yeah, that's under. That's way under.
He's not on my list. I just looked it up real quick because I was curious. Let me see. 3,819 passing yards last season.
That's like
33
kinda
touchdowns, 7 interceptions, 106.5 rating. Are you fucking stupid?
Those are the numbers.
Those are numbers. Those are very good numbers. That is not number 83.
Listen, you said yards, and you're like, what was it, 37, 3,300?
For
Something
what?
like that for his yards.
38.
Passing yards, 38. That's like average now. You're gonna see top passers getting like 5K, 4,800, shit like that. Like I think Dak would have averaged. He would have averaged like 52 or 53 had he played a full season last year. So 38 isn't a lot, but then you mentioned 33 to 7 touchdown to interception ratio. Very good. 106 passer rating over an entire season. Very good. Tannehill is. You didn't even have him on your list. Who did you have next on your list?
Well, I'm a dumbass and I don't know how the list works. But I'm going to go with my other pick, Keenan Allen at 55. I like Keenan Allen as a receiver.
Yeah, I do.
He is
too.
so explosive with his routes that like quick routes, you're not doing anything. He's catching the ball. You know, he runs something quick, you're gone. Like it's just not happening. 55 is pretty low.
Yeah, again, I feel like a lot of the receivers are like jumbled up just because there's so many different have on them, and like stats only tell so much. Stats can't tell route running. They can't tell what the quarterback does in like those scenarios. So Keenan Allen at 55, that's yeah.
And let me just backtrack a little bit on Ryan Tannehill. 3,800 yards because they have Derrick Henry in the team.
Yeah,
That's the only reason why it's that low. Derrick Henry not on that team, though he easily gets close to 5,000 yards.
Yeah, because Derrick Henry had what, 2,200 yards?
He had over 2,000.
Yeah, something ridiculous. So I'm gonna keep it in the 50s. Minka Fitzpatrick at 52. As much as I don't like the Steelers, especially this season, Minka Fitzpatrick is probably the best part of the secondary by far, and the second best part of their defense behind TJ Watt. And their defense was top 3 last year, up at least through the regular season. But yeah, Minka at 52. That's all I gotta say about it.
Yeah. I have Julio Jones at 29.
As under?
Yep.
I don't know about that. I don't know if I can agree with you on that one.
I think he should be placed a little bit higher than 29.
Julio's great. I think 29. If I were redoing this, or I would put him at a perfect fit. I think 29's good for him. It might be a little over if I'm honest. He has been hurt. He's now going to be the second wide receiver on his team. His prime days are past.
Oh, I see why he's at 29.
Why?
Because of his injury.
Yeah.
But I just want to say 771 yards was what he had last season in 3 games.
That's pretty good.
That's fucking nasty.
That's pretty good.
So my
last. Oh,
yeah, go ahead.
No, go.
I was just gonna say, 2 seasons ago, 2018 Falcons, just about 1,700 yards. 2019 Falcons, 1,400. Those are great receiver numbers.
He can produce. It's just getting injured.
Isn't that his first injury?
Yeah, no. Maybe. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure he has a good track record of not getting injured because his stats look great. Over
I
a
don't know. Not
pretty long
entirely
career.
sure. It's just he's had to play with a bad defense, and Matt Ryan could go either way.
Is Matt Ryan on the list?
No, Matt Ryan didn't make it. Thank God.
I was gonna say there's no way in hell he made
I
that
would
list.
have been mad if Matt Ryan made it. He's a good quarterback. He's not a
He
top 100
was.
player. He was.
He's getting old.
He is a former league MVP. We do have to remember that.
He's upwards of 36. Not everybody can,
Not everyone's Aaron
play to
Rodgers.
40.
Not everyone's Brady. I love the Derek Carr interview where he explains how he wants to play until he's 45. And everyone's like, whoa, slow down there, buddy. You got to make it to 35 first.
How old is he?
He's like 30.
Hmm.
He's like 30 now, and he's like, I can go 15 more seasons.
Too bad they're
It's like,
probably
yeah,
gonna
give it 10
draft
more
a generational talent quarterback
They're going to draft.
as soon as you do bad.
Well, they have been improving under John Gruden like every season, but I don't know when that's going to plateau. But anyway, my last underrated player, who we both decided are underrated.
I
Baker
went in
Mayfield.
before, yeah. I was looking through the list and I screamed. I wasn't, what? Baker
Yeah.
Mayfield at 71? Are you kidding me?
Baker Mayfield is way better than 71. A lot of people give him shit for like, oh, he's on the Browns. Yeah, that Browns team.
The Browns is the Browns, and the Browns produced last season.
The Browns were.
Don't want to hear shit.
5 points. What is it? 5 points away from making it to the AFC Championship.
It's because Andy Reid has massive cojones. It's the only reason that.
It really is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's because Andy Reid's like, fuck it, we go for it on 4th and 3.
With a backup quarterback? Oh, yeah.
Backup quarterback? Yeah, you just run it. Just run it.
And then I made the point that from a coaching standpoint, not a fantasy standpoint, I would prefer to have Baker Mayfield than I would Kyler Murray. And Kyler Murray is at 39.
Yeah, that's a little high. It's not on my overrated, but I think that is a little overrated. This season, I think I think he deserves to be on this list.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I need to see a little more from him to put him in the top 40.
He almost said 67% completion rate, nearly 4,000 yards. He had the Hail Murray.
Yeah.
Which was not him. I mean, good. It looks like a good throw, but he's not the one who made the catch.
What is it? Hopkins was number 6 on this list, I think. 6th or 8th on this list, which he deserves to be in the top 10. Houston's
8.
A dumbass for getting rid of him.
The 0-16 or 17 Texans, yes.
Yeah, the 0-17 Texans. All right, so let's go to our overrated picks. My first overrated pick is Jason Pierre-Paul at 59. I don't know how you feel about this pick.
Let me hear you out.
This dude's old.
Mm-hmm.
He was on the Giants.
I agree with you, by the way.
Super Bowl team.
Yeah, go on.
He was on the Giants Super Bowl team 10 years ago. We are celebrating the 10th anniversary of Super Bowl 46 this year.
Yeah, fuck you.
And he was on that team. And he's not going to produce like he did. It was miraculous how he produced last year. I don't think it's going to happen this year. Him and his 3 fingers. 59 is really high for a pass rusher who's been mid almost his entire career and has one good season. They put him way too high for this list, I think.
No, I agree with you. My first one is Jamal Adams at 31.
You think Jamal Adams is overrated?
At
I almost put him on my underrated.
at 31? Yeah.
I almost put him on my underrated.
Like, what is he? A linebacker at this point?
I would label him as a linebacker.
And this was my argument. I'm not saying he just got paid. He's a great player. I'm not saying he's a bad player. I just think he doesn't, for his work as a safety, it's not as high as he is. He's set record for most sacks. Yeah, because he's playing like a linebacker. He could be a linebacker if he wanted to.
Yeah.
For his work as a safety, I think he's overrated. Is
Well,
he a great player? Of course, but yeah.
That's just how the Seahawks they work. Like that's how they work. They don't have any good pass rushers, so they're just like, hey Jamal, you want to go blitz?
You want to
He's like,
set you want to set world records or NFL records for
yeah,
most sacks by a DB?
yeah. So they don't have a good pass rush, so they put Jamal Adams there, and it works. So he basically is a linebacker at this point who can play very good in coverage, and I think that makes him worthy of a top spot on this list.
Mm-hmm. No, but yeah, I was making the point of his safety abilities.
Safety, yeah.
Because he just doesn't do it, and he doesn't get picks.
He's good in coverage. He just can't get the ball.
Yeah.
Like
he'll guard you good. He just won't intercept you.
My next, sticking with the DB trend, my next person on this list is J.C. Jackson at 49. I know you're a Pats fan, and you might like him, but 49 for someone who has had one good year is way too fucking high. Especially when he is the 6th ranked corner. There's no way he's the 6th ranked corner in the league.
I'm just gonna sound way biased, whatever I say.
Oh yeah.
I like him as a player. I think he's great. What are we? He's been with the Pats for 2 years. Love him. He plays great. What was he at?
49. He's in the top 50. Not even 100. He's in the top 50.
I'll give it to you. I could probably put down 50 players before him.
Yeah. Like I get it. He's on this list. You know, he did have a good year, but I would put him a lot lower, especially when you put James Bradberry, who led the league in passes defended, at like 74.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't think he's better than James Bradberry, and that might be a little biased for me, but he did lead the league in passes defended, which is arguably a more important stat than interceptions in this league right now. So that's my take on that.
This is a really controversial, overrated.
Boy, 2 in a row from you. 2 in a row from you.
Derrick Henry at 4.
I was thinking about it, and then I remembered that he got 2,000 yards and kind of carried Tennessee for a little bit.
Top 10?
And I was like, top 10, I can see. Top 5, maybe not.
I don't think he's number 4, but I think he's top 10.
Derrick Henry was taken 3rd in my fantasy league.
Yeah.
It went McCaffrey went 1, then I took Kamara with 2, and then Derrick Henry went 3rd. And miraculously, someone ended up with Dalvin Cook and Nick Chubb somehow, which terrifies me, and I'm going to be scared anytime I play them.
Because
But
my thought was like, would I rather have Travis Kelsey or Derrick Henry? And I went, I'd rather have Travis Kelsey.
well, this kind of goes off of my last pick because I chose Travis Kelsey.
I thought about it. 5 is pretty high for a tight end.
5 is very high for a tight end, and I get it. He's receiver.
He's
Who
just
can
a
block.
receiver that with a
He's
special
receiver who
name.
can block. I don't think he would be anything without Mahomes. I really don't. I think he'd be a decent tight end if it
I'm
weren't
gonna
Mahomes bringing
fully
him the
back
ball.
you.
You're
I
gonna
can
what?
totally see that.
Yeah,
Travis Kelsey not playing in Arrowhead,
I can. I
and
can see. Yeah,
he's just like a good
good tight end.
tight end.
He's
Yeah.
not great. He's not like the best. Right, because right now he probably is one of the best tight ends we've ever seen.
Oh yeah.
Um, without Mahomes, I don't think he is. I think
Without Mahomes, he's a Darren Waller.
if he's anywhere but Kansas City or Tampa right now, without Mahomes and probably without Brady, Brady's the one exception to this list. I say he is a good tight end. He will produce good numbers. You know, he will be reliable, but he will not be the leading receiver in the league.
That's what I'm saying. He'd be like a Darren Waller for the Raiders type of player. Like you'd be seeing him making plays, you'd be like, wow, great tight end. Top 5?
Yeah. Definitely the best tight end.
Yeah.
Not number 5 in the league. And I did put him on my fantasy team, but only because he fell to 15. So I took him at 15, and I'm like, I'll take it. And then I took Saquon at 19. Or not 19, 18. So that was a good day for me last night during our draft. But who's your final overrated?
I'd like to retract mine. Now that I've had time to rethink.
Oh, okay.
I wrote down Tyreek Hill at 15.
Okay, I was thinking about that too.
But it's also like it's not a bad spot for him. And like he only had he only had around like 1,300 yards.
I would move him back a couple of spots, but that's not enough for me to justify overrated.
That was my
thinking.
thinking.
I think in general he's an overrated player.
Yeah.
He is fast, and that is his gimmick.
But he also does make good plays. Like his wasp route is nasty.
Yeah, like he can make
that's
plays.
the you remember the
Another player I think if you don't have a quarterback with a strong arm, he does not succeed. Like if he's not on a Mahomes or Josh Allen team, I don't think he succeeds.
You remember the deep ball in the Niners Chiefs Super Bowl?
Yeah.
That like brought the Chiefs back into the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's his wasp route, and that's kind of his gimmick.
Yeah. I'm not saying he's a bad player. I think he's a good
Oh,
player.
of course.
He probably is the fastest person in the NFL. I would put him up there, probably top 5.
Probably top 3.
Yeah. I'm just saying 5 as a broad term.
I mean, okay, yeah.
15, I think I'd move him back like just outside the top 20. I'd probably put him like 21, 22.
I couldn't really find anybody else.
No.
But this was the argument I was making, yeah. That he's like, I move him back a couple, but he's up here.
Perfect picks now. Who do you think was perfectly placed by the NFL Top 100 committee?
I'll start with my one that I won't get backlash for. DeForest Buckner at 27, I felt was solid.
Yeah.
I felt like I you could wiggle him plus or minus a couple. I think it's a great spot for him.
yeah, late 20s is good for him. He's a very, very good pass rusher. Knows what he's doing right off the line. Always produces. I but like he's never flashy. Never has like big plays and big moments. But you can start him and it'll always be solid.
Hmm.
So I like that pick. My first one is Buda Baker at 19. Um,
Yeah.
I think he is. I think the top ranked safety. Yeah, he's the top safety on the list, and I
No.
think that's
Yes.
no.
Yes.
Yeah,
No, you're right. You're right. You're right.
I was about to say. I hope I'm not wrong, because I think he is the top safety in the league right now. Uh, it's a shame he got run down by DK Metcalf, but what are you gonna do about it? um, but he plays off the ball really well. Great, great defender, great tackler. So he always knows what's going on and
He
where the
reads
ball
the
is going
ball
to be.
so well.
Yeah,
He can read the ball so well.
yeah. So he's got such a high football IQ that he's a very good player. And 19, I think, is great for him because the safety position doesn't really shine as much as like a corner
Mm-hmm.
or maybe an edge rusher would. So 19, I think, is great for him.
And I gotta stand up for my boy, even though he's not my boy, because everybody likes to hate on him, but he got it done. Tom Brady at 7, I think is
I was
good.
thinking about it. I was like, should I put Brady
I
on overrated? And I'm like, no, he won the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
Maybe he's underrated. And I'm like,
because it
no.
was like no, because I think Rodgers is healthy enough to play a little bit longer and have a solid career, and
Yeah.
then Patrick Mahomes is just right now. He's younger. He's gonna be better. He's more electric. Tom
If Pat
Brady,
Mahomes wins as many Super Bowls as Tom Brady, he will go down as the greatest of all time.
yes.
I think Mahomes will go down greater than Brady.
See, we'll see.
Patriots bias.
It's okay. I could rant on how much he's wrong, but
Uh,
um,
that was good.
I think it's also funny. Your 7th ring. He's number 7, but Tom Brady,
Yeah.
he's throwing like he's what was
Like
the
he's
quote he just said? Like
24.
he's
Feels
24.
like he's 24.
He is, and he doesn't. He started aging backwards because
Bro, the numbers are reverse, and then you still have to add more. Like if you flip 24, it's 42, and then you still have to add 2 more to that. Man's 44 and he's balling out.
I don't know what he did. I don't know what his health program is, but I'm gonna start doing it once I'm 30 because it clearly works.
Off topic. Did you see that LeBron James spends over $1 million on his healthcare routine?
I didn't, but the fuck do you need $1 million for? How much you paying your
He
chef?
like all of his healthcare stuff, his workouts, his meal programs, whatever, spends $1 million a year on that shit.
Well, you think by now you kind of know what you're doing. I don't know that you need a personal trainer. Although, personally,
No,
I like
well,
somebody, telling me, like a
LeBron
coach.
is what, late 30s now, going into 40s,
Mm-hmm.
and he's been getting injured a lot more. So I can see personal trainer being useful at his age right now.
No, but I'm saying like how much you paying them, how much you paying your chef. There's no way you
Oh,
don't have a solid gym already.
I'm sure he's paying like personal trainer and chef like top dollar because it is LeBron James. He has the money to throw around, and
The
he has the need to do it too. He's still playing pretty well.
healthy food, and this is no excuse. Healthy food is not that expensive. Healthy food is not that expensive. So what the fuck is he spending that much on?
I don't know. I don't know the details.
Anyway, yeah, Tom
It's my,
Brady. If he didn't do anything in Tampa, which it looked like he might, because he didn't start out flashy.
yeah.
Um, which everybody was like, "Yep, Tom Brady's over."
He came in and he took over the system, and he's like, "We're gonna do this now," and everyone just stepped back and said, "We're gonna do that now," and then they did it, and they won a Super Bowl
Well, he's been
because
begging to do it,
yeah,
and
he's been begging to take over a team forever.
Bill was like, "No."
Yeah,
But yeah, I think, I think he has another Super Bowl run in him before he's done. I say
yeah,
he makes it deep in the playoffs again before he's done. I mean, this year they're obviously going good,
yeah. A
but
lot of people see a rematch in the Super Bowl this year, which
totally possible.
very possible.
Totally
Yeah.
possible, yeah.
I have already given my takes on Super Bowl, and I told them to some people in my fantasy league last night, and they were less than thrilled about what I had to say about my Rams Browns Super Bowl prediction. They were like, "You really think the Browns are gonna beat the Chiefs like in the championship
They
round? Like, what's your
almost
seeding
did
even?"
it.
They're like, "What's your like seeding even?" And I'm like, "Well, the Bills get one, Chiefs or Browns get two, Chiefs get three. Chiefs and Browns meet, and the Browns win in the divisional, and then the Browns beat the Bills in the championship." And they're like, "Bro, how do you not have the Chiefs going?" I'm like, "Dude, the Chiefs almost lost in the divisional last year." So, anyways,
Yeah, mine was Bills are going and Trubisky's getting a ring this year.
I hope.
I really want. That's the only reason. I think we talked about this first episode while I'm a Bills fan for this season only. So I don't have to get mad for Mac struggling, and so Trubisky can get a ring.
All right, this next perfectly placed pick, it might trigger you. You might get a little mad at me for this, but I looked at it when it came out and I'm like, you know what? I like it. Right from the start, I looked at it and I'm like, this is correct. This is a correct pick. At number 24, Lamar Jackson.
God, I hate him. Go on.
um, I was very happy that they didn't put him in the top 20. He was not a top 20 player last year. He has the potential to be a top 20 player this year, though. If he, learns how to play his position and throw the ball correctly.
Or run it and have someone else throw it to him.
You're really on this whole running back thing, huh?
Yep.
I think placing him at 24 was good. It was. I feel like it was good restraint on the team making this list. They weren't totally like, oh, this guy was league MVP 2 years ago. He was on the cover of Madden, for Christ's sake. We gotta put him up there, right? And I'm glad that they didn't. They didn't put him too high, and he's still good enough to where he wasn't put that low for his skill either. So I like him at 24. All right, what's your final pick for perfect?
Uh, so it was kind of hard to find perfect picks because everything was like kind of plus or minus.
Yeah.
I just said Josh Allen because he's just gotten so much better.
Yeah,
At
he has
10.
massively improved.
I was watching something on Josh Allen recently. It was like a documentary. Just because I was bored. When I'm really bored, I just watch football documentaries.
You subscribe to NFL Films too.
Probably.
I've been watching their top 10 lists. That the show that they did like 2 or 3 years ago. I just been watching like an episode of that before I go to bed. It's great.
Yeah, but it was Josh Allen didn't get any offers out of high school, so he went to junior college and played his heart out and got offered by Wyoming. And then everybody was like, this kid's all right. And then the Bills were like, yeah, that's the guy. And then he's just become so good.
He has become the guy.
Yeah, he's the guy. Bills Mafia, good for you. You got a guy, which it's very hard to get a guy.
You know what's crazy? NFL MVP runner-up, and he's still the 4th quarterback on the list.
Yeah.
You still have Mahomes, Rodgers, and Brady ahead of him. I don't know how I feel about that.
It is strange how the MVP of the season is not the top quarterback.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like when you look at lists like this, you're like, oh, you look at where each player is placed, like, ranking-wise. You're like, oh, this person at this number, yeah, that fits them. And then you look at another player from their position, you're like, this person at this number, yeah, that fits them. But then you look at them position-wise, and you're like, all right, it's Mahomes, Rodgers, Brady, and then Josh Allen. And you're like, maybe Josh Allen could go ahead of these guys. Maybe, shouldn't Rodgers be number 1 because he won MVP? And once you get into position rankings, like, it really blows the entire list up.
Yeah.
But speaking of quarterbacks, the final selection for my perfect placement, Justin Herbert at 56.
Yeah,
I think that's a great spot for him.
It's his first season. You can't really get too much knowledge out of that.
Yeah, he played great. Offensive rookie of the year. Brought up a Chargers team who a lot of people thought were just going to be not good, and put them at what, 7-10 or something. So still, like, not winning record, but like, they finished the season. They did pretty all right. They lost a lot of games by 1 score, but that's just because Anthony Lynn does not know clock management. I feel like they could have won a lot more games if they had managed the clock better.
Mm-hmm.
But again, they didn't get too excited over Herbert. They didn't put him in like the top 30 or something. But 56, I think, is good. I think he definitely deserved to be on this list after what he did last year. What he's got the potential to do this year with Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Austin Eckler is going to be returning from injury. You upgraded the offensive line with Rashawn Slater in the first round. I think that the Chargers could go to the playoffs this year.
I'd like to see it. I like Justin Herbert. That's the only reason I like the Chargers, is because I like Herbie. I want a Justin Herbert jersey.
That's fair. Chargers jerseys are just so good.
Mm-hmm.
Also,
especially now that they don't have the gross white stripes or white things on the shoulder. We've had this discussion before.
I've always liked Chargers uniforms. No matter what, I like the powder blue and white and yellow. That's such a good color combination.
Mm-hmm.
But the Chargers actually have so many fucking uniforms. If you look at Madden 21 at their uniforms.
Well, because they have so many that they just always use now and then throwbacks.
Yeah, because they have they have their full colors. Like, they have jersey and pants in white, navy, royal blue, and powder blue. And then they also have yellow pants. So there's so many fucking uniform combinations that they can have. And they're all so good.
I don't love the navy. They're alright.
I don't think the navy fits them. That's the one color I could go without.
Yeah.
But the royal, I like. It's a lot of teams don't have a royal blue in their color scheme when you really look at it. But I think with the Chargers and the yellow and white that they have, it works really well.
Even if they got rid of that and only used powder blue, I'd also be okay with it because the powder blue looks so good.
Yeah. The powder blue with the yellow pants.
Yeah.
Very good uniform.
Not a big proponent of white pants when teams wear white pants with their like home jerseys. Not a big fan.
Well, the Giants uniforms, they wear white pants, but their other option, the only pants options we have are white or gray. And I'm not the biggest.
I thought you
fan
guys
of
got
Giant
rid of the gray.
uniforms. No, the gray we use for our away uniforms.
No, you don't.
No, we use the gray for away uniforms.
You have white pants now.
Do we have white pants?
Yeah.
I gotta look at the uniform.
No, this was an update to their jerseys this year. Yeah, I saw it.
I saw that they posted something about their uniform.
The Giants aren't using gray pants anymore for away, as far as I'm aware.
I gotta find the post again.
Which I thought the gray pants were alright. I like gray. I mean, I like the Patriots gray pants.
I just don't like our away uniforms. I didn't like the white jersey with the gray pants. I'd much rather just make our away jerseys our color rush. With the
You know what looks good? The white jerseys with like the
with the blue lettering.
With like the red and the blue that like tails on the arms and the neck.
Yeah, like our throwbacks.
Are those the throwbacks?
Yeah, I love those.
Those are so good. And they wear it with like where it says Giants on the helmet instead of NY.
Yeah, those are our throwbacks.
No, yeah, those are so good.
Mhm. All right. Oh, we do have white pants in our away jerseys. That's good. We only have white pants. Oh no, we do have gray pants in our. We have a 10th anniversary Super Bowl 46 tribute uniform, where we wear basically our away jersey with the gray pants instead of the white, and that's it. And then our color rush is just the all white with the blue lettering and the Giants helmet, and our home uniform is basically the same.
Mm-hmm.
But uniform schedule is already out. Holy shit! What are we wearing? Yo, we're wearing a color rush twice this year. Let's go.
Yo, Pats are wearing color rush all the time. Yeah, this blue lettering on these are so good. Like, just get rid of the Giants on the helmet and just have them as your normal away, and they're so good.
We're only wearing our normal away jerseys 5 times this season. We're wearing a color rush at Tampa, and then home versus the Eagles. We're wearing our Super Bowl throwbacks at home versus the Rams. And then we're wearing our blues at all of our other home games, and then at Washington and at Dallas. What the fuck uniforms are Washington wearing in week 2? I gotta look this up
now. Pre-recess of looking at uniforms. While he looks for that, I'm gonna go on to league transactions breaking just like a couple minutes before we started. Danny Amendola is going to the Texans for a $2.5 million 1-year deal.
Nickels, as you described it.
Yeah. Danny Amendola is going for pennies. It's Danny Amendola, and you're paying him $2.5 million.
This dude left the Patriots and just has not had a good time since. He had a stint in Detroit with Matt Patricia, which we all know how Detroit's doing. You know, I think I have them projected for the second overall pick behind the 0-17 Texans,
Mm-hmm.
where Danny Amendola is now headed. So, I mean, poor guy just can't catch a break after the Patriots. But at least he's got a ring. That's all that matters.
I love Danny Amendola. I don't know why, I just do.
Yeah.
Well, he had a critical
Catch in
touchdown,
the Super Bowl.
or was it a catch or a touchdown? I don't remember.
Yeah. Something happened in the Super Bowl where he caught a ball and it mattered. That's like half of the Patriots players at this point.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go to some other news that broke earlier today.
Oh yeah.
Le'Veon Bell, you know, former Pittsburgh diva, bitched his way out of there, went to the Jets, bitched his way out of there, went to the Chiefs, won a Super Bowl, and then got angry for some reason. Wait, did he win I don't know. He didn't win a Super Bowl with the Chiefs. He was only signed as a 2020, I think, in 2020. But
I'll check that as you talk.
yeah, but then got mad at Andy Reid, and then he's now on the Ravens. So,
He was on the Jets when the Chiefs won
yeah.
the Super Bowl.
Okay, so he didn't win a ring.
No.
Man wants a ring. He's not gonna get it. I don't think the Ravens win it this year. I think they make the playoffs. I don't think they win it, but
I hope they never win it.
not with Lamar. I only hope Trace McSorley wins it.
You know,
Wherever he goes.
I used to like the Ravens because they beat the Niners in the Super Bowl. Now I don't like the Ravens.
Because they have Lamar.
That. Well, I just don't like Lamar Jackson, but that, and they released Trace McSorley. Just do a Deshaun Watson situation where you keep him. You know.
Well, Deshaun Watson isn't injured, and also is a much better player.
Well, I mean, his back sure seems to be, or it must be why he keeps getting massages.
Oh, you didn't have to put that up. Going. What else we got on the transaction? Zach Ertz. There's been a lot of trade rumors around Philadelphia, and Zach Ertz, when confronted with this, he got a little emotional. He's like, I wanna stay in Philly. I like this city, whatever. And then no one wanted to trade for him, so he is stuck in Philly. But they were offering him, like, Philly, like, chump change. They were like, teams were offering him nothing. So I'm glad Zach Ertz stays. He's a good tight end if he's. But I don't know how long he can stay healthy.
Let me see his. Yeah, he's been doing all right.
Puts up good numbers. It's just something's always hurting. The next news: KJ Wright, free agent. The only free agent that was in the NFL top 100, by the way.
Oh, really?
I think he was ranked like 54 or something, or like 50s or 60s. But KJ Wright is going to the Raiders, and I think that is very good for the Raiders. Great player. I think he won a Super Bowl. Seahawks.
Yes, he did.
And he's been really solid. I don't know why no one picked him up sooner. Like, they really had to wait until cut day pick up linebacker, who has always been solid.
Yeah. I didn't see this. Garrett Gilbert to the Pats?
Garrett Gilbert went to the Pats.
I
I
didn't
think
see
he's
this.
on like the practice squad or
What?
something. I think he's Mac Jones' backup, which I think is very funny. I don't know why. I just do.
We do need a backup, which is okay.
Didn't Will Greer go? Yeah, Will Greer went to Dallas too. The Cowboys really cut Ben DiNucci and then signed Will. That's just heartbreaking. Garrett Gilbert's not bad though. Played for the Giants, or not? I'm glad he didn't play for the Giants. Played for the Cowboys a little when Dak and Andy Dalton were both injured,
Mm-hmm.
and he's all right. He's a solid backup. Next, the Bears signed Rashad Perriman, which brings an interesting vibe to their wide receiver room. Allen Robinson is good, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Who's the other one? There's another. I cannot think of his name right now. Bears depth chart. Darnell Mooney. That's who it is. And now Brashad Perriman. Which is going to be weird because there's Andy Dalton throwing to them. So it's either going to be really good or really bad. And I really hope it's bad because the Giants own the Bears' first round draft this year.
From what?
Justin Fields trade.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, the Bears traded up to get Justin Fields.
What was that? What was the price for Justin Fields?
A fourth last year, a first this year, and I think a fifth this year. To trade up, I think 6 or 7 spots. Which Giants kind of swindled them. Not gonna lie. But I just thought that was kind of funny. And that's it for league transactions. Injuries or player news. Tyrod Taylor was named the starter for the Texans over Deshaun Watson, who is still on the active roster. What are your thoughts on this one, Nacho?
He's sipping his I don't know, what's a Texas drink? Probably just malt liquor. On the sidelines.
Malt cereal beverage.
Yeah, he's sipping his Malta cereal beverage with his Oakleys on, looking at Tyrod taking snaps and go, "Hey, you're doing great, pal." And he's got some lady fanning him and probably rubbing his shoulders.
Yeah, and he's making $10 million this year.
Yup.
So
Baller.
That's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun to follow this development as the season goes on. See what happens.
Do you mean Texans or do you mean Deshaun?
Deshaun. Mostly
Yeah.
Deshaun. But
I really hope he didn't do it because he's such a fun player to watch. He's so good.
last night one of my friends goes, "Dude, half the allegations are false against Deshaun Watson." I'm like, "Yeah, but that still means that there's 10 that are true. If half of them are false." And he's just like, "Oh man." Which you never want to see anyone go through this, but if he did it, he's kind of an asshole.
Yeah. It makes it worse that he's a good quarterback. What was he, 18 on NFL Top 100? For good reason.
He still made the top 20 on the 100 list. So he's doing something right at the quarterback position, but not at the massage parlor.
Not at the being a human position.
Yeah.
Although I bet they did multiple of those positions, that is.
Oh, nice. That was a good one. So a couple of COVID COVID news. This one was last week, but I don't know what has developed from it. I heard it break, and then I heard nothing else. Tyrann Mathieu was put on the COVID-19 list, which puts him playing on Sunday in jeopardy, which is obviously a huge part of the Chiefs' defense.
Yeah.
And especially since they play Cleveland in week 1, which that's going to be I want to watch that game. It's like a 1 o'clock too, which
I'll
pisses
watch
me
that
off.
game. Oh, wait, that's 1. Oh.
Yeah, it's a 1 o'clock game.
What day?
And you're going to have Sunday.
Oh, I can't. Oh, I can watch it.
I can't. I work.
I can watch most of it.
I'm barely going to make it home in time for the Giants game, which makes me mad.
If I go, I'm going to have to call out.
Oh.
Or ask for time off.
Oh, the Pats game?
Yeah.
That's next week, not this week.
I know.
Okay. So yeah, Tyrann Mathieu's on the list. And then this is a confirmed case that's on Zach Martin is unavailable for Thursday night versus Tampa. And we'll get into the Dallas Tampa game later, but this is a huge blow for the Dallas offensive line. Arguably their best player. And then finally, in injury news, Irv Smith, Vikings tight end, taking over for Kyle Rudolph, and he tears his meniscus and is out for the year.
Yikers.
So that sucks. Rip all those guys. But let's get into some game previews.
Yes.
So Thursday night football, Dallas Cowboys at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tampa are 7.5-point favorites over Dallas. What do you think is going to happen in this game?
Tampa's just gonna win, and it's gonna be that.
All right. What's your score predictions? Or how much do you think Tampa's going to win by?
I'd say it'd probably be close.
Really?
Yeah. No, I
think it's going to be a blowout.
I think by 2 scores.
I think Tampa blows them out of the water.
So not close.
I know last year Tampa had a sort of a slower start. They were still winning games, but they weren't as dominant as they were towards the end of the season. But this Dallas team, a lot of people are hyping them up. I don't see it. You got Dak and Zeke, and your receiver core is kind of okay. But, your offensive line is constantly crumbling. Again, Zach Martin gets COVID, so he's not going to be playing. And a bunch of their guys are older now. They had 3 offensive linemen out last year because they're hurt. And their defense, their only bright spot on defense right now is Micah Parsons and maybe Trayvon Diggs. Ugh. Maybe Trayvon Diggs.
So how high you think they're gonna score on them?
It's gonna be I think with Tampa's high-powered offense against Dallas's dog shit defense.
Oh, that's true. Tampa's offense and defense.
Tampa has the possibility to score 40 plus in this game.
I could see it.
It's either going to be an offensive shootout where Dak puts up good numbers and he returns to his old form, or Tampa's going to put up those numbers and Dallas won't because Tampa's defense is actually good. So Tampa wins.
Easy.
I say by 3 scores. And they do have the potential to go over 40, I think.
I'll say they'll win by 2 scores and a field goal.
2 scores and a field goal, so 17?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, that sounds about reasonable. The next game, the Bird Bowl. Eagles.
It's going to be a
Falcons.
bad game.
The Falcons, we've been shit talking the Falcons. You know, I think they're top 3 pick in the draft. The Falcons are favored by 3.5 points.
I was about to say I would pick the Falcons to win just
I don't know
because
who
I
I'd
think
pick.
their new tight end to play with is going to be good.
He's played like 3 snaps. No one knows how good Kyle Pitts is going to be.
It's Kyle Pitts. I think he's going to play great.
He's such an athletic guy. I think he might bring Tim Tebow vibes. This dude is built. He's an athlete, but you know, is he gonna play his position well? Is he gonna contribute to the team?
What? So he's going to
That's all up in the air.
pull a opposite team Tebow, go to quarterback?
Yeah, he'll take over quarterback when Matt Ryan retires in like 3 years. But I think
if Minshew plays this game, then
he's not.
then
Jalen Hurts is already named the starter.
I know. I'm just memeing. If Minshew plays this game, Philly wins.
Yeah, someone chose Jalen Hurts in my fantasy league, and I was
Why?
I was screaming.
He's not
I
gonna
was
have a
yelling at
breakout
them.
year.
I was yelling at them.
He's not. He's just not.
I don't think he's gonna be good. I think he's gonna be I think he's gonna need another year to develop.
And then
The
he's
problem
gonna
is
turn
he
into a
doesn't really-
Trubisky.
Yeah. The problem is he doesn't have anyone to really develop behind. He's got Joe Flacco and Gardner Minshew. Oh, that's such a weird. Now that I'm saying this out
Why
loud,
did you?
that's such a
That didn't sound right.
That's such a weird quarterback room.
Imagine
Jalen
saying
Hurts, Joe
saying that
Flacco,
to
and
somebody
Gardner
like a
Minshew.
couple of years ago.
If last year, or no, 2 years ago, Minshew breaks out, Jalen Hurts is fucking slinging it in Oklahoma. You go to someone and say, in 2 years, the Eagles quarterback room will have Gardner Minshew, Joe Flacco, and Jalen Hurts, and then walk away, and just let them sit with that information.
You go and you tell a Eagles fan that 2 years ago.
They cry. They just cry.
You tell them at the Eagles Pat Super Bowl.
Oh no. You see both of these quarterbacks that are on the field. None of them are gonna be on your team.
And I would wish
like,
that
what?
I would say that so I could see pain in their eyes before their happiness.
And then they see Carson Wentz get signed to this huge deal, and they're like, "See, this guy lied to me." And then he gets traded to the Colts, and like, fuck. But I don't know, Atlanta. This is gonna be a close game, but it's also gonna be a bad game.
Yeah,
I think
it's going to be
I think
exactly
Atlanta
that.
has more upside than Philly. Because Atlanta's offense, you got Matt Ryan, Calvin Ridley, Todd Gurley, and Kyle Pitts. Those are your offensive weapons. That's a lot better than what the Eagles are working with. The defense on both sides are equally as shitty. So, it's gonna be close but bad.
Wait. Does Todd
Wait.
Gurley have a team?
I think he's on the Falcons.
He was last year.
I could be wrong.
I don't think he has a team right now. I think he's a free agent. Still.
That sucks. Oh, yeah. Yo, the Falcons have Mike Davis, Cordero Patterson, and Wayne Gallman. That's their running backs. I like it. Okay. I see Russell Gage as their other wide receiver. This isn't a bad offense, if I'm gonna be honest. The offense isn't terrible. It's just this defense. They got rid of Keanu Neal.
All right, we got a lot of games to get through.
Yeah,
Falcons win.
Falcons
Pittsburgh
win.
at Buffalo. Pittsburgh is gonna get they're gonna get curb stomped.
So yeah, the Buffalo 6.5 point favorites. I think it could go to 14. I think it's a two-score game, maybe even 3. Buffalo's gonna win.
Ben's gonna retire
Pittsburgh,
mid-game.
yeah, we've discussed our dislike for the Steelers on this show before, and our love of the Bills this season, literally earlier in this episode.
Yeah.
So we're not gonna get into that one as much. Minnesota at Cincinnati. Minnesota is our favorites by a field goal. Smell an upset?
Is Joe Burrow playing week 1?
Joe Burrow is playing week 1.
That's a close game. Hey, Shitass is joining us.
Shitass is joining us. Shout out to Shitass.
It's my brother's cat. That's a really close game. I don't know.
I think there's a lot of good week 1 matchups.
I like Cincy and I like what they have, but then I also think of the Vikings and I like what they have.
The Vikings were dog shit in the preseason though.
Were they? I didn't watch them at all.
Like Mike Zimmer, the coach of the Vikings, was going off after their game against the Broncos. He's like, we couldn't throw a pass, couldn't catch a ball, couldn't defend. We threw a pick 6, turned the ball over numerous times. But other than that, we had a great game.
Was to Patrick Surtain, right?
Yeah, the Surtain had the pick 6. And I thought that was really funny. That interview really resonated with me. And I don't know how I feel about the Vikings this year. Because the Vikings they've made the postseason and they missed it and missed. And they missed it last year. So that means they have to make it this year, right? To keep the trend going.
I don't know that they make it.
I think the NFC is so weak that they can make a 7th seed.
Yeah, actually.
Because that's
true. The NFC is kind of dog shit.
Only one team's coming out of the East. That's already a given.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know if the Saints make it out of the South.
We'll have to see how he does.
We have to see how Jameis plays. But the Bucks win the South. The Saints might get a wild card, maybe. No one else would be able to make it out of the North. It's going to be Green Bay and maybe Minnesota. And then the West is just up for grabs for literally anyone because that division is the best in the league. But I say Minnesota. Minnesota takes the win.
I'll say the Bengals do it.
You taking the upset?
Yeah. I'd like to see the Bengals win games.
Let's go to a one-sided game next.
San Fran
at Detroit.
More than one score.
Yeah, San Fran is 7.5-point favorites. I think it could be 3-score.
I was about to say that.
Healthy.
Jimmy's in. They're running a 2-quarterback system because he's weird.
Shanahan is a fucking genius or a dumbass.
I feel like it sounds so stupid, but it's gonna work, and I hate that it is.
Yeah, it is gonna work, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh well.
Because it'll give Trey Lance a good rookie season because he'll get snaps to play, and if he doesn't do amazing, it's not his team, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I still think he should just sit a year, let Jimmy G take him back to the Super Bowl.
Yep,
but that's not gonna happen. I don't think the Niners go back to the Super Bowl this year. Their division's too good. They're a fringe playoff team, unless they squeak out a win in their division, which, again, their division's so good. But they definitely win this game and destroy Detroit. Because Detroit doesn't have anyone of note on their team anymore.
I don't know anybody except Jared Goff.
They got rid of their 2 best receivers and their star quarterback in one offseason. Like,
how long have you guys been rebuilding for?
They've been always rebuilding. I've never known Detroit not rebuilding. maybe back in the 50s, they were not rebuilding. But yeah, they got rid of Galladay, Marvin Jones, and Matt Stafford in one offseason. So, good job. Next game, Arizona at Tennessee. Tennessee
That'll be a
favorites by a
game,
field goal.
but I think Tennessee does win that game.
Yeah, I don't. It's so tough because Arizona, you have playmakers on both sides of the ball, but they're such an inconsistent team. I remember I
Yeah.
had Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins in fantasy last year, and Kyler Murray for the most part balled out, and then he'd have games where he had only like 7 or 8 points. And it's like, dude, you're a quarterback. You're supposed to put up like at least like 16 to 18. At least. And like their team just plays so inconsistent to where if you catch them on a good day, you can get your shit kicked in. And if you catch them on a bad day,
Cardinals day.
yeah, then you curb stomp them. But I think the additions of J.J. Watt and A.J. Green are good for the Cardinals. It adds a lot of J.J. Watt and Chandler Jones on each end. Oh, that's dangerous.
Yeah.
And then Buda Baker in the backfield. Tennessee defense is weird. Because they have what? Bud Dupree, Kevin Byard, and who else?
I don't know the Tennessee defense all that well, to be completely fair.
It's because their offense is so high powered that no one cares about their defense, which I think is very funny.
Do you think defense or offense wins games? Like if you had one team with the best defense in the league versus a team with the best offense in the league, who wins? And
I think you get more opportunities from defense. Because offense, you can, you drive down the field and you score. Defense, your main goal is to just stop them from scoring, prevent them from getting into the end zone, force them to a field goal if you have to. But there's also opportunities for you to get the ball in your possession and
in a good
get
spot.
good field position or even score off of those plays. So I think it's like a tough battle, but I think I don't agree with the full defense wins championships mentality.
Mm-hmm.
Defense is an important aspect to winning championships, but it's not the full thing. The only defense that won a championship they're the only defenses that have won championships were the 85 Bears and the 2000 Ravens. Those are the only teams where defense was the main part of that team that won a championship. In this Arizona Tennessee game, Arizona's defense is I would say a lot better than Tennessee's.
I would
Tennessee's
agree with
offense. Tennessee's both their offenses are so high powered. Where I'm leaning towards picking Arizona. I'd probably say Arizona by a touchdown. Maybe even less. 1-score game. So next up is Seattle at Indianapolis. Seattle's 2.5-point favorites. This should be interesting. Who do you think comes out of this one on top?
I don't know how Carson's gonna play if he plays week 1.
Yeah, I think Jacob Eason's gonna start week 1. But Frank Reich hasn't named it yet.
It's so hard to to tell how Indy's gonna play, because Indy could be like really good or really bad versus a probably gonna be good Seattle. Seattle's always pretty good. They got you know amazing quarterback. They got receivers that can catch the ball.
Yeah. Well, isn't T.Y. Hilton missing some time?
Yeah, I'd say Seattle.
Yeah.
I'd say the Hawks take this.
I say Seahawks by 10. Indy's defense is really good,
Mm.
but you're also going up against Russell Wilson, and the Seahawks defense has been a lot better, recently. But in Indy's offense, you do not know what's going to happen with them.
All right, moving on to the Chargers at Washington, and I think this is kind of an easier pick.
Chargers are only favored by 1. I think they could win by 2 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
Their offense, obviously we talked about Justin Herbert and Keenan Allen already earlier this show. And Austin Eckler's back. Improved offensive line. Washington does have a very good defense. I think Washington's defense was like fourth ranked in fantasy projected this season.
Mm-hmm.
Which, because their defensive front is so good. My problem is you're going to be passing it a lot because you have Justin Herbert and Keenan Allen. And Austin Eckler is a receiving back as well. But Washington has no one in the secondary, really. Like, the football team does not have the best cornerbacks or safeties in the league. Like, you got Landon Collins and Kendall Fuller. And that's about it. So I think they can get torched. And it's just a matter of, will Chase Young get to Herbert before he lets go of the ball? Now, on the other side of things, Washington offense, no one knows what that's going to be like.
They got Fitzmagic, who could, run his magic. Or
And they have Terry McLaurin and Curtis Samuel and Logan Thomas and Antonio Gibson. All players who can be explosive but are sort of inconsistent, in my opinion. Like, Antonio Gibson can put up great numbers, and then, like, the next week he'll get, like, 12 rushes for, like, 14 yards or something like that. So, definitely inconsistent. Curtis Samuel, he's on a new team. He's learning a new system. Kind of no one knows what's going to happen with him as a second receiver for this team. Terry McLaurin was good last season. If he can do that again with Fitzmagic, it'll be good. And then Logan Thomas, he's a good blocking tight end. Pretty sure he just has some injury problems. And they also have Adam Humphries, which I think he's an underrated receiver. But I think this one
I think goes to the Bolts.
Yeah, because Chargers defense also has Joey Bosa and Derwin James. So,
Jets at Carolina, next game on the list, is going to be very fun to watch.
It's going to be a bad game.
I really want to see the fire in Sam Darnold's eyes as he stomps the Jets.
You think it's gonna be like that bad?
No, probably not. But I think he's gonna have some electric plays to say like, yeah, you screwed up.
I don't know. I never thought. I didn't think Sam Darnold was even all that at USC. Like I didn't think he was even
Mm-hmm.
great. You do have DJ Moore who can be electric, and Robbie Anderson, who is just he's kind of mid in my opinion. He's not wide. I don't think he's wide receiver one material, but I think he can make some good plays. I think they're gonna be relying a lot on McCaffrey in this game. As much as Sam Darnold's gonna want to throw the ball, they're gonna have to rely on CMC to get them out of some tough situations. And I still think they beat the Jets because the Jets is the Jets. But I think it's probably by like 6, 2 field goals. All right, Jacksonville at Houston.
Trevor Lawrence gets to start off his career with a win.
Yeah, that's always good. Jacksonville are favored by only a field goal, just because.
Oh, it'll
no
be a
one's sure
couple
how-
of those.
Yeah, no one's really sure how Jacksonville is play in the regular. Houston, I don't see them. Like, I really don't see them game. I don't know how. I don't know if it's gonna happen. I think if it were to happen, it would happen in this game. You're home. You're against the Jaguars,
who could possibly be a not great football team.
Yeah, and it's a good way to start momentum. Or not really start momentum. It's a good place. There is no momentum.
Mm-hmm.
So Trevor Lawrence can have a few good weeks, and then you face him and fucking done because he's got momentum. It's a clean slate. First game of the season. You want to see how everyone performs, and all starters are going starters. No more facing backups in preseason. Houston could come out with a win. I think it's unlikely though. I take Jacksonville by 6.
I would bet on Jacksonville winning.
Yeah. All right, next game, 4:25 game. I only know this because first one involves my Giants at home against the Broncos. Broncos are 2.5-point favorites. I don't know who here. Who would you pick? I want to hear you unbiased.
Who would I to win a Broncos at Giants? I think just in general, the Broncos are a better football team. However, I think the Giants might start to figure themselves out. So it'll be a close game because the quarterback situation in Denver is not amazing. You know, they have Teddy Bridgewater, who they named the starter, who is not the future of the Broncos. The Drew Lock situation, if Drew Lock figures it himself out, he could be the future of the Broncos, and I'd love to see it. I like Drew Lock.
I want to see Drew Lock figure it out. I want to see Drew Lock's. I think he was underrated. I think the Broncos O-line kind of did him a little dirty, but he's also not been consistent. And if he starts showing consistency, keeps working with Peyton, he can be a good quarterback. But I don't know. This Broncos Giants game is it's very intriguing because I want the Giants to win, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem is the Broncos have the best secondary in the. And I've talked up the Broncos defense. I think they're gonna be really fucking good. And the Giants' offense is not our strongest suit, if I'm gonna be honest. Out of the three, offense, special teams, defense, offense is the weakest for us by far. If we can shut down the Broncos on defense, I'm liking the Giants' defense this year. Then we got a chance. But I don't know. Our offense, defense, if we can score like 17 points, or like 21, if we get 3 touchdowns on offense, then I think it's a win for us. But hopefully Saquon's back. Hopefully Galladay can not get hurt this season. And if we just have a bunch of offensive weapons, all underrated on our field, we can win some games this year.
Cleveland at Kansas City. Now that's a game.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about this one, but we never gave predictions. Kansas City's favored by 6.
See,
now I think that's a lot.
I want to say Baker's got a vengeance and he's gonna win the game if Kansas City didn't just build a line after watching the Super Bowl, and if Travis Kelsey remembers, oh, that's how you catch a ball, then close fourth quarter game, a fourth quarter score is going to decide the game. Like 3-4 minutes left is going to be like someone's going to have a good drive, and then that's the winning score.
Yeah, these teams played each other in the divisional round. And since then, both teams have gotten better.
Yeah.
The Browns, they added Jadeveon Clowney on their pass rush, and they get Odell back. And the Chiefs' offensive line just got infinitely better from their Super Bowl. So, it's going to be a close game. Cleveland's offense is going to look very good, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if Tyrann Mathieu doesn't play.
Oh,
because that could be a decider.
That the Honey Badger is pretty good at what he does, so that could be bad for the Chiefs. I would like to see Cleveland win this game, just because I don't know, Browns, cool. Start winning. Oh, don't give Kansas City many wins any more than they need.
I think this could be one of the few losses for Kansas City this season.
Yeah, this is going to be the same as the divisional game. It's going to be last second score or somebody holds on offense.
Yeah, Kansas City was they set like NFL films, or someone did something on doing the floor and ceiling of each NFL team, and Kansas City, they set the ceiling at 17-0. I don't think it's going to happen.
It could happen. It is possible, to be fair.
But they said 14-3, I think, for them, which that'll get you the 1 seed. I think maybe the 2 seed if Buffalo balls out. But this could be one of the few losses for Kansas City, because Cleveland,
it's going to be angry.
Cleveland's going to be mad, and they're now a good team, which I like. I love that for them. I may not like Odell too much, but they're a scrappy football team, and it's fun to watch them play. I'll give them that much. Next
game is Miami at Pats at 1 p.m.
Is it a 1 p.m. game?
Yes, it is.
That was a 4:25 game.
Nah. Pats are winning this game.
Pats are favored by 2.5.
Sucks to suck, Finns fans.
Let me check.
Pats are winning.
Has that changed in 6 days? Let's check.
You know,
Also, it is a 425 game. Fuck you.
what?
Yeah.
I thought it was at
And it,
1.
and it has changed. You ready for this one?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah?
Yeah, it changed by half a point.
Oh, you cut out. I did not hear it at all.
Oh, yeah. The Pats are favored by 3 points now.
Oh, hell yeah, we are.
So, I think it's another team where both offenses are unknown and both defenses are unknown.
Oh, this offense is known.
No, not yet.
Nah, it's known.
Not yet. Miami's offense is weird because they got Tua full time now with Devontae Parker and Mike Gesicki and Myles Gaskin. Whoever else they signed in free agency. They didn't make a lot of free agent moves, did they? The only notable one I can think of is they released Kyle Van Noy. They have Will Fuller, who's suspended for like 4 games for PED use. And then they drafted Jalen Waddle. The problem is the defense. Oh, actually, the Dolphins' defense has got a little better.
Their defense is alright, yeah.
Their defense is okay. I say Dolphins by 6.
You would.
Yeah.
You
Well, I mean,
would.
you got Byron Jones and Xavier Howard are your 2 cornerbacks, and then you have Jason McCourty as your free safety.
Yeah, we do.
And then you don't. Jason McCourty's on the Dolphins.
I mean, yeah, you know what I meant. I'm tired.
Yeah, me too. Christian Wilkins is on the line, and that's about it. Dolphins by 6. Patriots are gonna be the weirdest team going into the season.
Yeah, and we're going to postseason, baby.
No, you're not.
Yeah, we are.
No, you're fucking high if you think
Yeah.
you're going to postseason.
Not right now, but no, we're going to postseason.
No. All right, next game. Green Bay at New Orleans in Jacksonville.
In Duval County.
Green Bay are 4-point favorites. I think that should go up. New Orleans is another great unknown team with what Jameis is going to do against a good defense like Green Bay. Rodgers is going to ball out. Green Bay defense is going to hold down the fort. I don't think there's really a contest here. We're talking about 2 good teams playing, and New Orleans is kind of a good team, but not really a match for the Packers.
All right, moving on.
Sunday Night Football.
Yeah.
Chicago Bears at the Los Angeles Rams in SoFi Stadium. They're really hyping up the match. I don't know why.
That's a loss for the Bears.
Yeah, like they're like, oh, Khalil Mack and Matt Stafford, whatever, and it's like, all right, you got Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey on the Rams defense. You're not scoring any points. You got Matt Stafford throwing to Robert Woods and Cooper Kupp with a solid offensive line. I don't think you're gonna like stop them for every single drive. So I mean, Rams are gonna score points and Chicago might get shut out.
I'd like to see it.
Rams by 17. Yeah, Rams by 17.
Say about that. I don't really like the Bears. Don't know why.
We don't like the Bears.
I just don't like the Bears.
We both hate the Bears and the Steelers.
I have no reason to hate.
That's okay.
I have no reason to dislike the Bears. I just don't like them.
I want the Bears to lose so that they get a good draft pick that the Giants have. So that way we can win in the draft even if we win in the regular season.
You ready to draft another quarterback?
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if we did, depending on how this year goes. All right, final game. Monday Night Football. Baltimore Ravens.
Lose.
4.5-point favorites in Las Vegas.
They lose that game.
You think?
Yup.
I think it's close. I think it's a close game. It's probably going to be decided by a field goal.
Man's going to have to take a shit mid-game. He's going to be like, oh, who's going to back me up?
I'll give it to Vegas just because Baltimore has zero depth anywhere. They have their starters, and then that's it. So I'd give it to Vegas by a field goal.
I think Vegas is, taking this game. That's going to be a good football game to watch.
It's going to be fun. We should do a watch party.
We could do a watch party for most of the games.
Patty. We're definitely doing it for Dallas Tampa though, right?
Oh, hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
I want to watch that game so much.
All right. Any hot takes?
Today's hot take is brought to you by the stock guy on Twitch. Commented live in our Twitch chat, said Dan Marino, the most overrated quarterback of all time. Changed my mind. I think he's kind of right on this one.
No, he is right. I fully agree with him.
Dan Marino is so hyped up. Like, yeah, it's Dan Marino. He's good, but Dan Marino is so hyped up.
He never got to a Super Bowl. I don't think. He never won a Super Bowl. I don't think he ever got there either. I think he's overhyped. I was watching the NFL 100th anniversary top 100 players of all time, whatever. And Dan Marino made the list over Steve Young and Terry Bradshaw. And I was just watching that in awe. I was like, how do you... Steve Young, okay, maybe. Terry Bradshaw? There's no way Dan Marino is better than Terry Bradshaw.
16-year career, though. Pretty good.
Yeah, it's just... No, Terry Bradshaw had a long career, too, didn't he? And he's funny. Have you seen Terry Bradshaw on the Fox pregame show? This dude's hysterical.
Terry Bradshaw had a 13-year career.
Yeah. And he won, 4 rings with the Steelers?
Yes.
Yeah. So, I think Bradshaw was much better. But quarterbacks of Marino's era, there's no way he should be up even in that conversation. Because he played at the same time as Joe Montana. Which all you have to really say.
It's Joe Montana, I mean.
That's all you have to really say. He played with, Joe Montana. He played at the tail end of Terry Bradshaw's career. He played into the Steve Young era. So, he was always getting outshined by 49ers quarterbacks. And, they still hyped him up so much for no reason. So that's the hot take for today. And I think that's it for the episode.
Yeah.
Unless you got something else to say.
Pats are going to the postseason. Thank you all for watching. If you watch this live, it's on streamed live on every Tuesday at around
9.
At around 8 to 9 p.m. At Nacho Live on twitch.tv. Nacho Live always is 0. Or you could go on YouTube, look up Minga Sports Podcast. We upload every episode. And on your favorite podcast viewing platform, Minga Sports Podcast. Look it up. I'm sure you'll love it. Thank you for watching. We appreciate all of you. And as always, word to your motherfucking mother.